Hi, my name is Taylor Cooper. I'm really excited to chat with you about losing control on the weekends. This is something that a lot of women struggle with. How do I stay in control on the weekends? So, this might be you. So, you're on track all week, fall off track on the weekends. And what's happening is you have structure throughout the week, but once you are getting to the weekend, you no longer have that structure. So, throughout the week, you have your workouts, your meals, routine is dialed in, you're going to work, your days look very similar most often than not, but then the weekend comes and everything just feels so much harder. You have random meals, random events, getting up at different times. Your meal times are off. They're not at the exact same times as you would if you were at work. And suddenly we're like, I can't stay on track because nothing is normal. And now I feel like I've lost control. And usually, what ends up happening is fall into this, oh, I'm just going to restart again on Monday. I can't be perfect. I was perfect all week. I'm not perfect now. And I just can't do anything. And we'll start again on Monday. Okay. So, Monday is always our reset button every single week. And in my mind, what this really is your week is damage control. And on weekend, we're losing control. Okay. But the thing I want you to understand, though, is you're not actually losing control. You're just reacting to a plan that doesn't fit your real life. So, what I mean by that is you have really intense routines and structure throughout the week. And then on the weekend, you are no longer able to do that. And instead of knowing exactly how to handle the weekend, how to order food out, how to maintain some sort of structure, you are just kind of falling off. And my goal is for you to not actually have that happen anymore. So, what's actually happening is your week is just too restrictive, okay? So your plan relies on perfection. You have this thing in your head where you're like, I have to be perfect. If I'm not perfect, it's not going to work. Reality is, life isn't perfect. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. But if you learn to be resilient, how to actually think about what you're doing, what is best, making decisions, and be able to make decisions that are actually in alignment with what your overall goal is, where are you at in your program, and how can you focusing on what is in your control versus just letting everything go up in the air the moment that things can't be perfect. So your plan is just relying on perfection, and as I said, perfection doesn't exist. So your structure disappears when life changes, things come up, and you're left making very reactive decisions. And like I said before, when you can't be perfect, oftentimes a lot of women will just be like, okay, well, no point in doing anything at all. I will start again on Monday. I already ruined everything. So this isn't a discipline problem. You have demonstrated that you're able to be disciplined literally all week. You are able to stick to your workouts. You stick to your routines. Eat the meals that you're supposed to eat, or you've meal prepped. You've shown that you can be disciplined, but the problem is that you don't have strategy to handle the weekend that allows you to carry that same sort of discipline and structure into the weekend without you having and needing to be perfect. The perfect plan is one that is flexible and that you are able to enjoy your real life following. And when you have the ability to make decisions that are in alignment with your goals, you know how to shift focus, you know how to focus on what is in your control. That is the strategy, and that makes your life so much easier. And that's what's going to stop the start again Monday reset. At the end of the day, what you actually need is structure that fits your real life, okay? And you need to have realistic expectations of yourself that are flexible, that still allows you to uphold standards that are in alignment with your goals, and the ability to have a meal off plan without spiraling, and understanding that you don't have to be perfect, and being able to stay in control and not fall into the all or nothing, and then feeling in control of your decisions. For women that are very driven and they really thrive in that structure throughout the week, the best thing that you can do is have control on your weekends over your decision making. And when I say control, I don't mean obsessive or restrictive. What I mean is you are just making conscious decisions, and you have the mindset that allows you to know that you do not have to be perfect, but there are things that you can do to stay in control of your decision making. And at the end of the day, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to enjoy the food that you're eating. You're going to enjoy the company, and you're not going to be focusing on having ruined everything or restarting again on Monday. So, most programs offer you macros and workouts are like, here's your workouts, here's your nutrition goals, maybe here's your meal plan. And inside Goal Strong, that's not what we focus on. We want to build the mindset and the lifestyle that is necessary to create sustainable results and long-term progress. But you also need the right training and nutrition strategy. So it's more than just here's your workouts, here's your nutrition. You need to know how to handle that so that you are able to stay consistent throughout the weekends and actually be able to make sure that the time and the energy that you are putting into your nutrition and your training is creating the best results possible so that you're not just going through the motions. So your results don't fall apart when your routine does. Okay. That's why we build what we call the Goal Strong mindset, which is what our clients use to go into the weekends knowing exactly what is expected of them on a weekly basis, and they're able to plan and change plans when necessary and be super flexible. And this allows them to bring structure and control into their weekends without feeling restricted or out of control. So, no more starting over every Monday. DM me the word control, and we can chat about what this kind of plan can look like for you so that you are able to have the structure that carries into the weekend that allows you to stay in control of your decision making and allows you to make long-term progress that you can actually maintain.